A very solid strategy to improvise over a funk groove would be short, stabby, repetitive phrases that you develop. And I've got a free backing track and a free sheet for alto and tenor saxophone in this video. And I'm going to demonstrate now some of these ideas and then I'll walk you through them. These ideas sound pretty cool in my opinion. Have a listen and see what you feel. See what you think rather. This is in the style of Low Rider by War. Free backing track. So I think that kind of thing sounds really, really good. And like I said, I'm going to walk you through everything. So free backing track in the description below, free sheet here, which is also downloadable just for you. On top of my 250 other free tutorials that I've put on YouTube, I'm going to ask you one favour. Just subscribe to the channel. That really, really helps. I'm trying to chase the other saxophone instructors on YouTube like Jay Metcalf and Jamie Anderson, these other awesome teachers, and I need to get the numbers up. So please subscribe to the channel and do me this massive favour. It's completely free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything. I only put out one video a week at most, so I'm not going to bombard you with notifications. It's completely free. Just please subscribe to the channel, and if you could put a like or a comment in, that would be awesome too. Let's have a look at the sheet that I've provided for you. The fundamental key or scale that I would use for this is E7 for alto saxophone, which would be A7 for tenor saxophone, and that would sound like this. And that's going to sound really, really nice over this. It's exactly the same as the major scale, but the seventh note has been flattened. It's a Mixolydian. So let's just play that scale up and down. That's a good practice, good place to start. And if you get very comfortable with that and you want to throw it around a little bit, you could do. So I'm just making some phrases off the top of my head, but what I'm doing is I'm emphasizing the interesting note, which is the flat 7. For altos, that's the D, and for tenors, that would be the G. The next idea is to use short, repetitive phrases as per the sheet. And I've written you out a couple of ideas, and the first idea is and as you can see, again, I'm using the interesting notes. I'm using the 3rd and the 7th of the Mixolydian scale. So for the alto sax, so that's the G sharp and the D. For tenors, that's the C sharp and the G. And I'm really heavily, relying on those. So with that first phrase, now I could just you just develop that idea, just play it and get it under your fingers, learn it by ear, and then just play around with it, look like this. So I'm just varying the phrase. I'm not really doing anything rocket science there. I'm just playing around with the phrase. And the second idea that I've got, which is example number 2, for altos would be just Ds and Es. Again, I'm heavily relying on the flat 7 of the Mixolydian scale, which is the interesting note. And without the backing track, that would sound like this. Now, if you listen to Low Rider, I'm kind of nicking one of their ideas. I'm stealing one of the ideas out of there, which sounds really nice. And again, I'm keeping this short, so keeping these stabs really short. Have a listen. And I could develop it. So again, it's not set in stone. I'm just messing around and coming down the scale a little bit, but I'm using that essential idea and repeating and developing it, which I think sounds really, really nice. A very strong idea with any kind of funk tunes is going to be your minor pentatonic. For alto players, that's going to be your E minor pentatonic. For tenor players, your A minor pentatonic. And this is just going to sound fantastic. So the scale on its own. Sounds really, really cool. If I just played that straight up and down, look. I think I put a C in there at the bottom, but you get the general idea. So then I could play around with that, and one of the easy ways to play around with that is to use a pattern. And if you have a look at point number 4 in the sheet, I've written you out a pattern, which is a really cool pattern, works ever so well, and it would sound like this. It's just going up 4 notes, starting on the 2nd note, and going up 4 notes of the minor pentatonic, starts on the 3rd note, goes up 4 notes, and so on and so forth. So without the backing track. Coming down from there. Really, really nice pattern. And again, if I just played that dead straight, that would sound great. Go more slowly. Sounds really, really nice. And then if I wanted to, I could use fragments of that. So I could just use the top end descending. So that would be. Which is a fragment of the pattern. That would sound great. Have a listen. And this pattern is so robust, you could literally start anywhere, ascend or descend, use as much or as little as you like of this pattern. It's always going to sound great, especially if you use like sharp, aggressive little stabs and use repetitive ideas that you develop. It's going to work really well. Then if you take a minor pentatonic and you add in the flat 5, you're going to get one of my favorite sounds, which is the blues scale. And for altos, that would be your E blues scales, your blues scale. For tenor players, your A blues scale. Without the backing track. And you can have endless fun. Again, if I just play that straight up and down, it's going to sound great. really nice. But once again, the way to really get the most out of the blues scale, in my opinion, is to take a phrase and repeat it. And I've given you an example. If you descend from the flat 5, and I've ringed the note, which is the flat 5, in both scales. For alto players, it's the B flat, and for tenor players, it's the E flat. And I'm just going to descend from that note. So look. And just to be crystal clear, I'm not going up and down, I'm just descending every time, and then stopping, and then starting on the B flat or the flat 5 and coming down, stopping, starting on the flat 5 and just descending. And if I do that very, very straight with the backing track, it will sound awesome. Sounds really nice. I'm throwing the timing around a bit. I'm just being like a kid, just being playful, seeing how many different ways I can play that same phrase. And now if I develop that idea just slightly, not doing too much, not working too hard. Yeah, and I can feel myself getting drawn in. If I was in a band and I just did that, I just did those 4 notes and put everything I've got behind it, really, really meant every single note, then that would be a really cool, dynamic solo, just those 4 notes on its own. And so look, you've got a whole bunch of ideas, and what I suggest you do is do what we've done in the video, play them dead straight, and then experiment with each idea in isolation. And then by all means, see if you can mix some of these ideas like I did at the start of the video. I really do hope you enjoyed that. I really need you to subscribe to the channel, please. I'm sorry to moan, but I need more subscribers, and because what that does is it pushes it out to other sax players. If you're really enjoying these tutorials and you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can. Liking and commenting also really helps the algorithm, whatever that is, helps it push these videos out into YouTube. I also have a website which has got all of my over 250 free tutorials on there that you can search through. Search for anything, harmonic minors, minor 251s, major 251s, tone, whatever it is that you're looking for, improvisation, major scales, minor scales, theory, everything is there. Do go and have a look. And there's also some paid content on there as well, which has gone down really well. You can also join the channel if you join the YouTube channel. I think it costs you like £3 a month, and you get free videos, and you get access to me, and you get members only videos and lots of other members benefits. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.